As I reported to you all the other day, the World Health Organization has now declared that this new outbreak of Mpox is a global health emergency. Now, some of you all might remember monkeypox. Mpox is the same thing, except it's more dangerous, easier to spread. It's basically a new strain or whatever they call it these days. But ever since they've made this declaration, it has been discovered that this new strain of Mpox is in the poop water in San Francisco. Now, as far as we know, no one has come forward yet, but it's in the poop. So we know that someone in San Francisco, at least one person, is walking around with this illness, probably still butt plugging people, and they're not going to the hospital. They're not going to get checkups. Maybe it's a homeless person, I don't know, but it's been discovered in the poop. I know it sounds crazy. Some of you are looking at me really weird right now, but that's just reality. They are studying the poop, looking for stuff like this. But we also know that it has now spread to Sweden. The worst of it is in the Congo. They were hoping to keep it contained to the Congo, but that obviously didn't work. Now it's in Sweden. We know that for a fact. There's a man in the UK, I cannot show the video here because it's kind of gross. There's a man in the UK covered in bumps claiming that he has the new Mpox. I don't know if he does or not. I have the video over on X or Twitter. Go follow me over there if you want to check it out. Warning, it's nasty looking. But so we know it's in the poop water in San Francisco. It's obviously going crazy in the Congo. We have a case in Sweden. There's a case in Pakistan. And now, ladies and gentlemen, in Argentina, they have just quarantined an entire cargo ship. The cargo ship was forced to anchor in a river in Argentina. Someone on board, they believe, has this. And now they've quarantined the whole entire ship. I believe this is a ship carrying grains, if I'm not mistaken. But let's go ahead and dive right in and find out some more information, shall we? Argentina quarantines grain ship over suspected Mpox case. Argentine authorities have quarantined a cargo ship in the Paraná River over a suspected case of Mpox on board, the government said on Tuesday, as global health authorities remain on alert for a new, faster spreading variant of the virus. The quarantined Liberian-flagged ship was sailing from Santos, Brazil, also a major commodities hub, to pick up soy cargo, according to the health ministry and industry body, the Argentine Naval League. The ship near Argentina's inland grains port of Rosario alerted authorities that one of its crew members of Indian nationality showed cyst-like lesions predominantly on the chest and face, the ministry said in a statement, adding the person had been isolated from the rest of the crew. The ministry said public health emergency protocol was then activated and the ship, which had been bound for the San Lorenzo port in the Santa Fe province, had to drop anchor right there in the river. Only medical personnel will be able to board the ship, while the whole crew will be required to quarantine pending test results, the ministry added. Could you imagine being on that ship right now? That's like one of my worst nightmares. Traveling on a ship or an airplane, you know, I mean, here they're going to work, but imagine you're on like a cruise. It's supposed to be a nice, relaxing time. And next thing you know, they quarantine you in the middle of nowhere on a boat. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want no parts of anything like that. I know a lot of the people on that ship right now are freaking out. And listen, I know some people will say, well, it's not easily spread. I don't care. Do you want to be on the boat that's quarantined because of monkeypox? No, nobody does. But I'm telling you right now, this stuff, a lot of people think that this is going to be, you know, a big hoax. It's just them making a big deal out of nothing once again, like they do with some of these illnesses. I don't necessarily think that's the case because most of the mainstream media is actually shying away from this because, you know, Mpox is predominantly spread by gay men through doing what. So that's one of the reasons why this has gotten so bad, because they tried to hype people up about it a couple of years ago, you might remember. And then they figured out how it was being spread and, the majority of people who were getting it. And then they stopped talking about it altogether. Now it's gotten worse. And this is visible. You can see when someone has this. It does not look pretty, folks. It does not look pretty at all. And if you're thinking, I've seen a lot of people say, hey, I'm straight, I have nothing to worry about. Well, if you're single out there in the world sleeping around, then chances are you may be sleeping with someone that may have come in contact with this. Everyone is effing everyone these days. Ladies, chances are if you're single out here sleeping around, you may sleep with a dude that sleeps with other dudes. Fellas, you may sleep with a woman that's sleeping with other dudes who sleep with other dudes. And that's not the only way this is spread. It can spread, it could be spread in other ways. But right now, we're witnessing this thing slowly creeping around the world. And I do think it's going to get worse. No, I don't think this is next. I don't think this is going to be used as the next big thing like with the beer bug, although it could be. I'm not necessarily worried about getting this, but at the same time, it's like we can't ignore it, because that's kind of what they've been doing. They kind of just decided, hey, we're just going to pretend that this doesn't exist anymore, right? Because for one, you're bigoted when you talk about it. If you talk about how it's spread, that you're being hateful. So they've kind of shut down the conversation around this. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, they've been working on tons of vaccines for this stuff, and they say they're ready to roll out millions of doses. So as I look at this situation, I have mixed feelings. Like, hey, can this be used and weaponized against us in the way they did with the beer bug a few years ago? Or are they going to downplay this as we watch this spread rapidly through society, because we live in a society of people who are all sleeping with everybody, just doing whatever the hell they want anyway? So what are we really going to witness here? This could go multiple ways. Either way, I think it's important to keep an eye on things, which is obviously what I'm doing here. But I don't know about you, just thinking about someone with these big Mpox bumps walking around all of like the grains and foods that are being shipped over here, it's just gross. It grosses me out. But for now, I want you all to let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell. And as always, I'll talk to you all very soon in the next video.